everybody, welcome back to Barcelona. We're here at the Fear of the Giant, Fear 7 halls, it's amazing. We're here at theCUBE, we're in Congress Square, CS stand CS60, come by and see us. My name is Dave Vellante, I'm here with Bob Laliberte. Savannah Peterson is walking the floor, she'll be here all week with us. This is day 2, we're wrapping up day 2. I'm really excited to introduce Jonathan Fischer, he's the Vice President of Global OEM and Embedded Partner Go-to-Market at Ericsson, and Warren Jones is Chief Technical Officer at Sail GP. Wait till you hear about these guys. Folks, welcome to theCUBE, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, we know who Ericsson is, but who's Sail GP? What are you guys all about?
So we're a global sailing championship that has events all around the world. So we've just been, we had an event in Sydney a couple of weeks ago. We have an event in Los Angeles in 2 weeks' time. So we go around the world, we follow the sun and the wind. We have these amazing Catamaran F50s, we call them. I call them an IoT device, but they're actually sailboats they are. But we gather information on them and we be able to do it. But we have international teams, 12 international teams and 14 events around the world.
It's like F1 for sailing?
You said that, not me, but yeah, pretty similar.
That's cool. And now these catamarans, I'm going to be in a catamaran in a couple of weeks. I'm guessing it's a little different than the ones you race.
Yeah, these go about 100 kilometers an hour, they do. So they're powered by nature. We're powered by wind. We have no engines on them at all, and they hydrofoil above the water, so they move very fast.
That's a mile a minute, right?
It is. It's they're pretty amazing.
So this is Larry Ellison class. Is that right?
Mr. Ellison is our founder. He founded the series around 6 years ago. Him and our CEO, Sir Russell Coates.
Yeah, so if you go to Oracle headquarters, outside there, of course, you see the boat, and that's quite remarkable. So, well, congratulations on getting that off the ground.
Thank you.
And who makes the best racers in the world? Is it the Australians or the Americans?
At the moment, it's not there's no competition, I'm afraid. The Americans aren't doing that well. The Australians, New Zealanders, Spain are our existing championships. They won season 4. Very young team. They look at data, they use data, they move to be able to do it. So unfortunately the US team's got a bit to do.
They're going to keep their boat upright. You know, they keep flipping it over.
Yeah,
right?
Larry's getting distracted. You got to pick it up, Mr. Ellison.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm sure a lot of people are sitting there looking at this going, okay, wait a minute, we're at Mobile World Congress and we're talking about sailing. Now clearly you've mentioned data, IoT devices and so forth. I assume that we're here because you've got some type of connectivity that you're using to collect all that data off of that. Is that all happening in real time, or is it when it comes back to the dock?
It's happening in real time. So we manage around 60 billion data requests a day, and that's GPS locations of the boat. We can manage where 1 centimeter where that boat is in spatial location, and we need to get that information back then to a database. So utilizing Ericsson EP5G, private 5G to be able to get all that information, so telemetry data, video, and voice.
Okay, so that's really interesting, but it brings up a ton of questions for me. So you're doing a private 5G network for someone that's sailing in the ocean. Does that mean you're using and leveraging something terrestrial based to get it, or you're actually got other ships out there and creating a private 5G in the middle of the ocean?
So at Sail GP, we do what we call stadium sailing, with as close to the shore as possible. So we go to areas where this is the end of the terra firma. This is the water. This is where the racing is there. So we're as close as possible. We have antennas on the race on the land side, then shooting down at the boats.
Very cool, very cool. So you're able to collect data. When you're asking for the data requests, obviously, is there anything that's done in? Is it all to be collected to be used for the next, or is it actually in the middle of the competition they're able to look and make adjustments based on the data in real time?
They're able to look at that data. They're a little bit busy on the boat. There's six people on the boat, 5 male, 1 female on the boat. So they're pretty busy in what they're doing, and they're looking at it. So they have a coach that has live data. So they have a rudder differential, camber of the wing, how many times someone's pressed a button, how many times someone turned a steering wheel. This is all information that's available to them, and then they can send that to the coach, and the coach then can tell that to that. But at SailGP, we're a little bit different. We have open data. So Team Australia can see what Team USA are doing, and Team USA can see what Team France are doing. So all the data is open. The boats are exactly the same. It's all about the athlete and how the athlete interprets the conditions.
So Jonathan, have you been out for a sail?
So they won't let me on those boats, but I have been on a chase boat. In fact, I was on a chase boat right behind the US team in Bermuda when they flipped. So I got to experience their first flip real time.
These guys are going 60 miles an hour. Do you have an engine? Is that how?
So yeah, so we were in a chase boat with the big gimbaled camera on it at the time.
Oh, cool!
And so it was a kind of a hydrofoiling boat. So we're chasing behind the boats, trying to catch good angles of the boats as they're going along, and sending all that data and that video back over 5G as well. So really cool to see it in real time.
This has to be one of the most unique use cases of your technology, is it not?
It is, yeah. Sports is starting to really adopt private 5G. There's some others they're doing. I can't talk about here, but the sports arena. Think about big arenas that need to have connectivity for monitoring balls going in the air to speed of a bat. Just different things that are going on in the arenas, to concession stands, point of sale systems, credit card processing, things that need to be set up and brought down really quickly, and need to have an overlay network, because oftentimes the macro network could become busy. So they need to have that flexibility, and that private 5G really provides that really good coverage, as well as their own really private network.
So when we see that, like on whatever, Fox or whatever the other networks are.
CBS.
CBS, right, okay, right. Is that your network, your favorite? Okay.
No, that's who SailGP broadcast on. Okay,
so when you see that, that necessitates that there's some kind of network infrastructure there that enables.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily CBS's technology alone, there's an underlying.
And what they do is really unique, and how they do their broadcast. And I've had an opportunity to really get in depth with the broadcast, but I'll let Warren talk about it. It is absolutely amazing what they're doing, sending that data all the way back to London to be able to be processed and managed and produced.
So yeah, we pioneered what we call remote production. So before COVID, we were the first federation to be able to send all our video back to London. We have our producer, director, EVS, commentators. We even have our umpires, so we have everybody's back in London, and they use the data, they use the video to be able to call that. And we do it from there. We do it, because we know technology can work, and we can be able to use cloud compute to be able to do it. And B, we do it for sustainability as well. We're traveling around the world. How can we leave less impact on the world and having people stay where they are?
We know a little bit about moving big videos.
Yeah.
But you're actually setting up private 5G networks at each course you go to, because I assume the course is changing every time you come back to a place potentially, and so forth?
Correct. Well, to be honest, we're going to Los Angeles now in a couple of weeks' time. The course will change 7 times within it, because we need wind, and we need that, so the wind changes, so we change it as it is.
The network has to change with wherever you go.
Well, we have what we call AI buoys, so marks on there, so they move around. So they're built on Cradle Point Ericsson router technology, and they're AI. They just move themselves. They look at the wind, they look at the data, where the boats are, what they need to do, and they'll just move around and things like that.
Like autonomous water-based robots, right? And so they're moving around the course and resetting that course based upon the wind, and they're using some AI technology to really keep those buoys in place. And then they have some really cool technology on it that you see over these really amazing graphic overlays where you can see the race course. You want to maybe talk about that? I think that is absolutely amazing technology.
Historically, watching sailboat racing, it's a white sail against a blue background.
Yeah.
So we needed to work out what, where boats are going, what boats are doing, what speed they're going. So we created an AR, VR technology called Liveline. So we superimpose that onto the race course. It gives you the ladder lines of where the boats are. You have boundaries where they are. So we've been using that now for the past 14 years, being able to do it, and we're market leaders in AR, VR for TV.
So Warren, can you discuss a little bit more about kind of what you had to do on your end to implement all this, the integration? It sounds like you've got some of your own IP. Maybe you could describe that a little bit.
It wasn't that too hard, to be honest. Their equipment, Ericsson, the EP5G equipment is pretty cool in a way. You know, we did some testing all last year to be able to put that out. What's our distance? What we need to, what's the throughput? Where we need to go? Where's our line in the sand? All those type of things. We started off on different assets on the race course, which boats we need to do. We have F50s, which is the Catamarans. We have marks on the boats. We have safety boats on the water. How do we implement that? Everything we do, we need data. We're a data-centric, very data-hungry in a way that we need data. So having connectivity and private 5G and good connectivity as well. You know, this is one of the harshest conditions for sport and being on the water. Everything gets wet. Everything we do is wireless. We got no cables. We tried to put a cable on the boat, but it just didn't work.
So the data model is your integration or your project, if you will. The data platform, that's something that you have
we're partnered with Oracle. We use Oracle Cloud, so
well, no doubt.
Surprise.
I mean, but you still got to run it, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty autonomous these days. Right?
It's really cool. But we still need to get that data from the water to the shore to the database. So Ericsson Private 5G is the funnel to be able to do that.
No sneaker net.
Sorry?
No sneaker net.
Well, you'd have to run really fast. Yeah. and you're talking about the cable and being tethered, it would be more like a water ski rope.
Yeah,
right, at 100 kilometers an hour. So what kind of special prep do you need to, we talk about putting things in ruggedized equipment, but you're talking about salt water, right? Yeah. Being in the buoys that are in the salt water, the devices that are on the boats, et cetera, being able to collect that. What kind of special work did you have to do to find the containers to hold all that?
So we've made them waterproof from that point of view, but these are hardware off the shelf, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're actually leveraging existing Cradlepoint Ericsson hardware. A few years ago, they started using our R1900. They put it in a waterproof box. We had the antenna external to that, and now they've added our 2100 portion of the way up the mast. So now I have 2 5G routers in there to do some diversification. And so the 2100 is already ruggedized and waterproof because it's being used on top of a vehicle. So it really was a great use case by putting it inside of there. But when you go over on these boats, they're in the wing of the boat or the sail. And so, of course, they could get dunked. And luckily, I've seen a couple that get a little scratched up, but they're still operating to this day. And it's 3 years later.
We've got loads of bowls of rice that we put the, no, I'm joking.
Quick, get it in the rice.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is really fascinating. I'm wondering if you could share maybe what some of the outcomes have been from instrumenting the boats. Has it been always the case that you've had the autonomous buoys that are resetting and things like that, or is that something that's been enabled by 5G?
That's been enabled by 5G.
Okay.
You know, they're the new product that we've introduced in season 5 from that point of view. For us, it's, we travel all the time. We've got a back-to-back in Los Angeles, and then a week later we're in San Francisco. So we need to be quick. We need to be nimble and being able to set up and then de-rig and then go to our next. That's one of our key logistics parts. But also, throughput data. That data to be able to get back, and good data as well. No drop packets. We need everything to be in place. And it's pretty transformational.
The setup that they do is absolutely amazing. Was there 50 or 60 of these big containers that they come off their own ship that they bring around? Okay. And they have to set up a city. And inside of there are the boats that are taken apart, little buildings with all their monitors for the broadcast. And it's an extensive city that they have to put up and break down. In 2 weeks, you're going to do it in LA. They're going to set it all up, break it down, and then 4 or 5 days later, rebuild that again in San Francisco. And it is absolutely amazing to see. And get all that technology, get all the fiber in there, all that backhaul, get the EP5G set up. Every time I go to see it, I'm absolutely astonished that can even happen.
But Ericsson's making it easier for us.
Well, what else could, I was going to ask you
later.
What else could they do to make it easier for you? What's your biggest challenge? Maybe Ericsson is a challenge that Ericsson can solve, or others that you're kind of on your own?
It's a great question in a way, but every time you fix a problem, another problem arises. And
You're a CTO, you're used to that.
yeah, but with to have data and have data being able to deliver us in the milliseconds, not the seconds, that's key for us. And we'll keep on adding the amount, as I said, 60 billion data requests a day. We'll, in a couple of years' time, that will be times 2, times 3, times 4. So having a network to be able to manage that and scale up is really cool, is really great for us.
Guys, really fun example. Really appreciate you coming on theCUBE and sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
All right, keep it right there. Bob and I will be back to wrap up day 2 at MWC 2025. You're watching theCUBE. We'll be right back. Keep it right there.